people who vanish, only to reappear in another era. Planes that disappear from the sky and return minutes, hours, or even decades later. And ordinary moments when time itself seems to bend, twist, and swallow the present whole. Welcome to Project Timeslip. I'm Reverend KJ, and tonight we're exploring some of the most baffling and unsettling encounters ever recorded, cases where the past and present collide in ways science still cannot explain. These aren't myths or legends. They are first-hand accounts, some famous, many forgotten, but all deeply strange. Do these stories prove that time slips are real? That's for you to decide. The year was 2007. I was 18, and like most teenagers, I spent my entire summer glued to my game station, playing online every day with a friend. My routine never changed. Wake up at 9, turn on the TV by 9:30, start gaming, play for 5 or 6 hours until the boredom hit, then shut everything off around 2 or 3 p.m. and head outside to meet friends. That pattern was so consistent, it was practically carved into my brain. But one day, everything broke. I'd been playing for what felt like the usual stretch, 5, maybe 6 hours. I was on a brutal losing streak. So I finally logged off, said goodbye to my friend, and turned toward the hallway. I expected to see 3 o'clock p.m., maybe 4 at the latest. Instead, the digital clock on the wall glowed 11 o'clock p.m. I froze. The hallway was pitch black. The only light was the red digits burning through the dark. My head throbbed. Cold washed over me. Goosebumps shot up my arms. How had 6 entire hours vanished? I never fall asleep while gaming. I don't have any medical conditions. I always play with the curtains closed and the lights on, so it's not like the sunlight changed or tricked me. But the weirdest part wasn't the missing time. It was everyone else. My friend acted completely normal. My mom, too. They both insisted I'd simply signed off and gone about my day like usual. My friend even blamed it on me falling asleep and losing track of time. But that was impossible. I had been wide awake, ready to go outside and start my day. I had energy buzzing through me. I was nowhere near tired, and yet somehow 6 hours evaporated without me noticing. That night I barely slept, part shock, part fear, but mostly because I still had a full afternoon's worth of energy burning in my body, energy I never had the chance to use. If time didn't pass for me, then where exactly was I during those 6 hours? The year? Unknown, because what happened that day doesn't fit into any timeline I recognize. I've always had an affinity for the paranormal. My family is the kind where ghosts, demons, even a vampire once weren't exactly shocking, but what I experienced on this day makes every other supernatural moment in my life feel insignificant. I believe I slipped through time. It started like any ordinary summer adventure. My best friend and I were home from college enjoying the freedom of summer break. We decided to take a simple road trip just a couple hours outside our hometown to visit scenic spots and take pictures. No deadlines, no stress, just 2 friends cruising through the warm summer air. Everything went smoothly until the drive home. The return trip should have taken 3, maybe 4 hours, but as we entered a long, straight stretch of road, the sky darkened so quickly it felt unnatural. One moment, clear blue. The next, thick, swirling black clouds. At first we shrugged it off, teenagers, invincible, dumb, but then the storm hit. Lightning flashed with a yellow tint. The air buzzed with electricity. The hair on our arms and necks rose on end. The cars Speedometer and gas gauge began to flicker wildly, and the other cars gone. One moment, traffic ahead of us, behind us, around us. The next, empty road. My friend panicked. I did too. She pulled over just in time because the engine died completely. We stepped out into the electric humming air. I told her I'd walk ahead to find help. There were houses along this route. I was certain of it. That certainty would soon mean nothing. I walked for what felt like maybe 20 minutes. The storm worsened. Violent thunder, lightning that cracked sideways, wind that felt intelligent. Then suddenly, silence. The storm vanished instantly, and everything around me had changed. The scenery looked wrong. Not the trees or hills themselves, but the patterns, repetitive, unnatural, like a landscape copied and pasted by something that didn't quite understand nature. Still, I kept walking. After about 2 miles, I saw a bright light beyond a hill. Relieved, I ran toward it. What I found made my skin crawl. A neighborhood, but not one from any era I recognized. The houses had curved metal garages, dark sheet metal roofs. Clean lines and strange angles, silent streets, too silent. Then I heard laughter. I followed the sound to a yard where a middle-aged woman, late 40s, maybe 50, was playing with 2 children, laughing, happy, until she saw me. She froze. Her eyes went wide with terror. She stepped back like she had seen a ghost. "How can this be?" she whispered. "Oh my God, this can't be." I panicked. Was she about to call the cops? Scream? Run? I held up my hands. "Please, please, I just need help. My car broke down. I don't know what's happening." She stared at me, trembling, but something in my voice must have reached her. Her expression softened, and she stepped forward as her grandchildren cried behind her. I couldn't shake the feeling that I knew her. Something about her face, her presence, familiar. Then she said it. "Jessica, honey, is it really you?" My stomach dropped. My heart hammered. "What? How do you know my name?" And then I saw it. A burn scar on her cheek, the same burn scar my best friend has, same size, same shape, same place. My blood turned to ice. Was this woman my best friend? Older? From the future? The children screamed louder. The woman whimpered, and I felt like I might pass out. A man burst out of the house, a younger guy, lab coat, blonde hair. He stopped dead when he saw me. "No way," he whispered. "Dad? But you're young." I almost threw up. 2 more people came out, a young man and a blonde woman in business attire. The girl gasped. "Holy crap. He looks exactly like Dad in his college photos." Everything spun. My vision dimmed. I felt myself losing control of my body. The woman, the older version of my best friend, turned to the young blonde girl, and it hit me. I knew that face. I had known it since childhood. It was my best friend. A wave of warmth hit me, joy even, right before the world collapsed again. The storm snapped back in an instant, louder, closer, violent, lightning everywhere. The world twisted, folded, then went black. I woke up in a field, cows in the distance, trees swaying gently. A farmer was hovering over me, calling for an ambulance. 8 hours had passed. I was found 120 miles from where the car broke down. At the hospital, my best friend showed up with my family. She was terrified, confused. She asked what happened. I told her I didn't know, but the truth, I will never tell her. I was only gone an hour, maybe less in my experience, but the encounter, the neighborhood, the family that looked like me, I remember every detail with impossible clarity, and I'm certain of one thing. I met my best friend decades older, with her children and her children's children, somewhere far from here, somewhere far from now. 2003. Senior year, it was a perfectly ordinary night until it wasn't. I was hanging out with a friend until about 8 o'clock in the evening. His house was barely 10 minutes from mine. I'd driven that route hundreds of times. Same turns, same street lights, the same quiet suburban roads. Nothing unusual, but that night, something was wrong. I remember getting into my car. Actually, no, that part is missing. What I do remember begins at the main road. As soon as I reached it, the atmosphere felt strange, not threatening, just emptier than it should have been. This was a normally busy stretch. Locals heading home, families grabbing groceries, late-night workers commuting. But tonight, nothing. No headlights, no taillights, no engines, no life, just me and a perfect, peaceful night. The air was cool after a warm spring day. A gentle breeze flowed through the cracked window. The radio played quietly, and even though everything felt contemplative, there was a nagging sense that something was off. Still, the drive went exactly as it always did. Every turn, every landmark, every moment. In my perception, it took 10 minutes, maybe less. I pulled into my driveway, grabbed my bag, walked inside, and glanced at the clock. 11 o'clock. I froze. Impossible. I checked another clock. 11 o'clock again. 3 hours had passed, and I had no idea how. The next day I went to bed confused, but not tired. In fact, it felt like I was going to bed early, like it was only 9 p.m. The next morning I couldn't wait to ask my friend what time I'd actually left his house. I hadn't called that night. His dad enforced a strict leave by 8 rule, and calling after 11 would have gotten both of us chewed out. At school the next day I finally asked. He smirked, rolled his eyes, and said, in his usual sarcastic tone, "Dude, you left at exactly 8 p.m., like the good boy you pretend to be." I told him I got home at 11. The smirk disappeared. He thought I was messing with him. I wasn't. We tried to piece it together, retrace the timeline, double-check the clocks, thought through every possibility. Nothing explained it. I wasn't tired. I hadn't been drinking. No drugs, no mental illness, no stress, just a quiet spring night, and a 10-minute drive that somehow stretched into 3 hours. To this day, I remember that night perfectly. The breeze, the stillness, the empty roads, and except for one thing, I have no memory of getting into my car. Every second afterward is clear. But those first moments, gone. It's as if I slipped out of time and then slipped back in 3 hours later without ever noticing the missing gap. And I still have no idea where those hours went. Some people claim they've seen the past. Others say the past has seen them. But this is something stranger. The dream that didn't feel like a dream. The year is unknown, but the memory is crystal clear. I'm not much of a dreamer. When I do dream, it's rare, but always lucid, always vivid, and always unforgettable. One night, I found myself standing inside a small, dimly lit shack, a single-room house, crumbling poor, lit only by 4 or 5 flickering candles. My mother was there, young, exhausted, holding my newborn sister in her arms. She was pacing nervously near the door, anxiously waiting for my father to come home. Outside it was pitch black, the kind of darkness that feels alive. I spoke to her calmly, casually, the way you talk to someone you love. I told her everything was okay, that she was safe, and she looked right at me. She thanked me for staying with her, for protecting her, for being there while she was alone. Then I woke up, just like that. It felt real, but I shrugged it off, took a shower, went to work. Life moved on, or so I thought. 3 days later, it's Friday night. I'm sitting outside in the front yard with my parents, gathered around a fire. We're joking, telling old stories. My mom brings up how she used to pop my dad's bike tires back when they lived in Mexico. I laugh. I ask why. And that's when everything changes. They tell me that in 1991, the year my sister was born, they lived for a year in a tiny rundown shack. Poor, dark, a single room, just like in my dream. My dad would go out drinking with his friends and wouldn't come home until morning, so my mom would secretly pop the tires on his bike so he couldn't leave. Funny story, right? Until it wasn't. El Callejón de la Llorona. My mom explained she hated being alone there because the shack was in Indigenous, an alley called El Callejón de la Llorona. It was the Alley of the Weeping Woman. If you know the legend of La Llorona, you know how terrifying that name is. A ghostly woman wandering the darkness crying for her lost children. My mother was terrified. Every night she would pray, cry, pace the floor, and wait desperately for my father to come home. Then my dad laughs and says, "Well, why did you need me there? You always said your guardian angel was watching over you." Everything inside me froze. My mom nods, she smiles, and then she tells me something that nearly made my heart stop beating. The visitor who walked through the wall. One night, 1991, my mother was alone in that shack with my newborn sister. She was shaking, terrified, convinced something was lurking outside. Then a man appeared, not from the doorway, not from outside, but as if he stepped out of the wall itself. My mother said she felt comfort, familiarity, even safety around him. He sat with her, spoke to her, reassured her that everything was going to be okay. And then, just as calmly, he stood up, walked toward the same wall he'd emerged from, and vanished back into it. After that night, she said the fear was gone, completely. She felt at peace. I was born in 1998. I never knew any of this. Not one detail. Not until 3 days after I dreamed the exact same thing. Same shack, same fear, same mother, same newborn sister, same moment. The only thing missing was the part where I walked back into the wall. Was it coincidence, a strange dream, a shared memory, or something far more complex? Something that bends time, identity, and the boundaries of reality? I still don't know, but part of me wonders, did I dream about the past? Or did the past dream about me? These stories challenge our understanding of time, not as a straight line, but as a landscape, a place where past, present, and future may overlap, where echoes become moments, and moments become doors. Are these events paranormal? Are they scientific anomalies, or are they reminders that time itself is far more fragile than we imagine? This has been Project Timeslip. I'm Reverend KJ, and if you want to see more investigations like this, subscribe and stay curious, because somewhere out there, another slip is already happening.